I've got a quality issue with my Fendi. It's too Fendi. Hello you gorgeous people of the interwebs, I hope you're having a fan-dabby dozy day today. Today we're going to be talking about my Fendi Mini Baguette repair, how that went, what was wrong with it, customer care at Fendi, how long it took, costs, all of that kind of stuff. If you're interested in that, then stick around. Yes, I had to send my beloved leather Mini Baguette off to be repaired. I have written down my timeline. I will be sharing that with you. I will be showing you my Mini Baguette. In fact, let's get her out now. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's just get her out and have a look. Ooh, ooh. Clash-tastic. I like. So this was a repair. I sent her back a little while ago, and when I went to collect her, that lovely Valentina, my client advisor, popped downstairs to the actual sort of bag concession on the ground floor of Harrods. Valentina is in ready to wear in Harrods, so I was upstairs and she ran downstairs and she picked up my bag and she brought it up, checked it over with me. You'll have seen that on my vlog, my little vloggy vlog, and then she packaged it up all beautiful for me. I did use it that night, but then I packaged it all up again because we do this crazy kind of stuff for the YouTubes because we want to see the packaging. We love packaging. We're all suckers for packaging. I'm gonna pop the seal this time. I'm just gonna pop the seal. That has quite literally torn it. So here we go. Here is the dust bag, and within the dust bag is, as I mentioned, my leather. This is the black leather, you can tell. It's the black leather Mini Baguette, and I know she's mine because there's a little bit of a scuff on the buckle there that I managed to do within about 20 seconds of owning the bag. I managed to scuff that up pretty good. I think I dropped it in the car or something. Sorry, I did an Amelia Rose and I dropped my luxury. Timeline, let's start at the beginning. I bought this bag on the 9th of June 2022. Seems like a long time ago now. This was my first Fendi, it wasn't my first Fendi purchase in Harrods, but it was my first Fendi bag purchase. Up until that point I had bought the bag strap that I wear with this one most of the time at Bicester Village, and then I had bought a card holder in Harrods, and then this time we bought a few things. We bought a couple of Fendarchi pieces, we bought this, and we bought the little nano baguette that has basically kicked off an entire obsession about nano baguettes. You may also know, if you are a long-term member of the channel, a long-term fan-dabby, you will know from my Vlogmas last year that we actually moved house, and as part of moving house I packaged up all of my bags. Now, not long after we moved in, within days, I was rummaging through those suitcases that I had everything packed up in to get to this, and this is pertinent. I know I've gone off on a bit of a tangent, but it is pertinent to the story to get my hands on this bag, because up until that point I had been using this bag pretty much non-stop. I loved it. I loved it with the big strap, I loved it with the little grab handle and the crossbody and all of that kind of stuff. So we found it. We went through the suitcases, we found it, we took it out and we put it on the table, and the lion noticed a few little sort of black flecks on the table, and he said, "Oh, what's this? Is this He actually said, has this come off your bag? Have you checked it?" And I looked over and I was like, no, it's fine. And the black flecks, I genuinely thought had been off the pull strap here, which is a kind of waxy leather. I've not heard anything about Fendi quality issues. It's one of my favourite things about Fendi. And on that basis, I had dismissed, and the fact that I couldn't see anything obvious on the bag that would be an issue, I dismissed it as, it's got nothing to do with the bag, it's something completely different. Fast forward a few months, fast forward to May of this year, and I'm using the bag. Oh look, she's stuffed it nicely for me. I'm using the bag, and I noticed on these bits here, it's on these bits, just on the glazing, on the join here, I noticed that these bits were starting to look a little bit naked. They had pulled a little bit. This side, I mean, they're repaired now, so you wouldn't be able to see them. But I saw that and I went, oh, panic! I've got a quality issue with my Fendi. I didn't think this was supposed to happen. So I took the day off work and I went into Harrods on the 26th of May, about a week and a half, 2 weeks before, about 2 weeks before my first anniversary of buying the bag. Now, I'm always conscious about warranty periods and things like that. And if you notice anything within the first year, absolutely get it back to them. Hello, did you say you're new to my channel? Then hiya, I'm Gwenny and I love luxury in all of its glorious forms. And if you love luxury in all of its glorious forms, the good, the bad, and sometimes the ugly, then get down there, hit subscribe and ring my bell so you don't miss out on any of my luxury-based shenanigans. Show the videos you enjoy the thumbs up love, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram. So I actually managed to squeeze this into the back of the back section of my mini peekaboo. Couldn't believe it. What a squishy little joy. So I took it in to the bag concession and I spoke to a lovely sales associate there, a lovely client advisor, and she said something when I showed her what the problem was that took me by surprise, because I hadn't heard of any Fendi quality issues. She said, oh yeah, that can happen. I was like, oh, is this kind of a known issue then? Is this something that regularly comes up? She said, don't worry about it. We will send it off. We will have it assessed for repair and we'll send it off and it'll all be good to go. Thank you very much. She gave me a receipt. I gave her the bag. I didn't take the straps because I didn't see the point in taking the straps. They're detachable straps. They didn't need fixing. There was nothing wrong with them, so I didn't include them. I just popped this in a dust bag and I dropped it off with them. So they sent it off, and then a couple of days later I got an email. Actually, that's not entirely true. I got the email the same day, but I didn't actually see it for a couple of days. Didn't check my emails. I had an email from Fendi Repair Services and they said, we can absolutely repair this for you for the princely sum of £260. And I thought, £260? Are you sure? Are you sure you should be charging me for this when I have not even had it for a year, and when I've brought it in to be inspected by one of your client advisors, they've kind of suggested it was a known issue? Why should I be paying you £260 for it? And then work kicked off. I got completely distracted and forgot all about it for a couple of weeks until I got a phone call from Fendi saying, do you want us to go ahead with this? I said, oh, okay, I will get back to you. And I came back and I rechecked everything and said, definitely says, in order for us to proceed with this repair, you have to pay us, you have to agree to pay us £260. I didn't think that was entirely correct, didn't think that was right, thought it should be covered under at least 1 year's warranty, if nothing else. So I contacted Fendi customer services on the phone number on their website, and I spoke to a lovely lady there who took my repair number, because I had a receipt from the bag, so I had a reference number. She took my repair number. So she called me a couple of days later and said she'd spoken to the Fendi handbag concession at Harrods and confirmed to me on the call that with that reference number and all the details and looking up the receipt and everything, that there should be no charge, and that she told them to go ahead and send it off for repair at no charge. Bravo, Fendi customer services. You were giving me a different story to the one that I was given in the handbag concession. It was a better story as far as I was concerned, because I really didn't think I would have to pay to have those glazing issues sorted out, because I hadn't had the bag for an entire year yet. So I was quite relieved when she said that. And by this stage it's towards the end of June, and then I left it about 6 weeks and decided that I was going to follow up because I hadn't heard anything. So I contacted customer services again. I asked to speak to the same lady that I spoke to before. She couldn't see it on the after sales system that she had access to, but I think a lot of these systems aren't actually joined up, which we know makes for a really smooth running operation. She spoke to the boutique people at the concession at Harrods again, called me back a couple of days later. I think that was over a weekend that I contacted at that time, and said that she could confirm that the bag was actually in Italy. It was actually in Italy, it was actually there. Fast forward to the 5th of September this year and I received an email from Fendi Care Services services saying my bag was done and she was ready to collect. I already knew at that point that I was going to be going into London to meet up with those other wonderful, fabulous, gorgeous, utterly exquisite and vibrant YouTubers. I mean, if you haven't seen the vloggy vlogs, I'll link down below. And then the Lion suggested we take the Friday off and go to Harrods and do a bit of shopping and stuff and pick this up while we were there, which is exactly what we did. My takeaways from this were the client advisors at Fendi were very, very friendly, or should I call that Fendly? Here I am, making up the words. Should the client advisor I initially spoke to have said, oh, that can happen, indicating it's potentially a known issue, although I've not seen anyone else talk about it, so I don't believe it is a known issue. A little bit of Lion investigation on the YouTubes, looking up videos about Fendi quality issues, he didn't really find anything either. So should that client advisor have said that? Maybe she didn't want to come across and say, well, you've used it too much, you've broken it yourself. So maybe that was a sort of non-accusatory kind of response. The second thing is, although I received that quote saying that I needed to pay £260, I don't know if that was just some sort of weird auto-generated thing that I was sent that didn't actually take into account the date of purchase. I'm pleased that I contacted customer care. Really, really pleased I did that, because that's effectively saved me 260 quid. So I think if you ever do find yourself in a similar situation, just contact the customer care team and say, look, I have been told this, is this correct? I'm glad I went through that process and I followed up on it. I would not have been comfortable paying £260 to repair a bag that was less than a year old, and it probably would have impacted whether I would have considered continuing to buy Fendi. And I wouldn't have wanted to not buy Fendi because the fever is real. It is real, it is genuine. I am fandabily dozily head over heels in love with Fendi. The fever is strong, but I wouldn't have paid the £260. And as we know, for these high-end luxury brands, when you send something off for repair, it takes an absolute age to come back to you. Almost 4 months, 3 days shy of 4 months it took to get this bag back. Actually, that's a little bit unfair because I could have picked it up 2.5 weeks earlier than I did. I just wasn't in a position to do so. And when Valentina picked up the bag from the concession downstairs, brought it up to me in ready to wear and said, here you go, she looked me straight in the eye. She put her hands on my arms like that. She kind of hugged me, put her hands on my arms, and she said, if you ever need anything like this again, you come straight to me. I had explained that I'd had mixed messages along the way, and she was like, no, none of that. You shouldn't have been quoted for it. We should have just taken it. We should have just sent it off. It should have just been dealt with. Next time, if there is a next time, you come directly to me and I will sort it all out for you. Have I mentioned before that Valentina is the greatest client advisor in the world? I may have done. That's because she is. Her details are in my description, and if you need anything from Fendi at all, she can help you. I can't tell you how happy I am to have this bag, this beautiful, beautiful bag, this versatile bag. She does everything, apart from carry the kitchen sink, because she is a mini bag, but other than that, she does everything. And I am so relieved to have her back, finally back in my collection, not collection, for I have missed her. I have missed her greatly. What do you think of my experience with Fendi customer care, repair services, the client advisors in store? Have you had anything similar to that? Let me know in the comments section if you've ever had to send a Fendi off for repair. I'm just not hearing about quality issues. Fendi clearly thought we'll leave that to Chanel and Louis Vuitton to put out the quality issues. Or if you found this video helpful or just enjoyed it, then show it the thumbs up love. And until I see you, yes you, boop, for the next video, please stay safe, be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, stay fan-dabby dozy, and bye-bye.